My name is Jenna Neely, and this is my Excel the Dream story. I'm a single parent and survivor of domestic violence. I was married for 2 years. We married quickly, and he was aspiring to be in music ministry, and so was I. He appeared to be the perfect Christian man. The abuse began right after we married. It was verbal, emotional, mental, and eventually escalated to physical abuse. I was absolutely hopeless. I felt like I was being punished for all the wrongs of my life. I prayed constantly, but I questioned whether God heard me at all. If it wasn't for my son, I could easily have ended my own life. We fled in January of 2014. I was served divorce papers in order to release custody of my son to his abusive father. Instead of following the order, I fled to a Dallas domestic violence shelter. Eventually, we found a home at a transitional home for women and kids coming out of domestic violence called Emily's Place in Plano, Texas. I had no car, no job, and almost no belongings. Most of all, and most notable, I was completely broken. 2014 brought some good changes since my son and I were safe, but 2015 was the year for me to believe. I was living at Emily's Place when my first court date occurred. I was in contempt for not releasing custody, and I didn't have a lawyer. They could have arrested me for not releasing my son. I requested an extension to gain representation, but the judge stated I would have to release custody of my son to gain an extension. I told the judge I would represent myself. After hours of litigation with his attorney, I gained a protective order, custody, and child support. God was there that day, and I will never ever forget it. I was still so defeated. I was so hopeless. I was so unhealthy, physically and emotionally. Even though we were in a safe environment, I still struggled with where I was in my life. Emily's Place had us attend a home church affiliated with the program. One of the directors, named Deborah Hatton, at Emily's Place attended ELC, and we were able to visit with her on Saturday nights. I would also watch the sermons weekly online. At the time, ELC was placing a strong emphasis on grace. I had no grace for myself, and I had no way to accept his. Pastor Keith helped me understand that I don't have to earn grace, and I don't even have to deserve it. God loves me right where I am, and he will help me in my time of need because I am his daughter, and my son is his son. Months ago, I decided to write my beliefs on a note card. I was working part-time, I was making $100 a week, and I felt like I couldn't make any improvements in my life. I wrote not what I wanted or what I wished for, but what I believed God would do. With grace on my mind and no excuses for who I was or where I'd come from or the mistakes that I had made. Just full belief in whatever God had for me in the future, because like Pastor Keith says, God is the God of the impossible. I believe that and know that I serve a good Father. So I waited on him. On my desk, I started adding little post-its on days that my morale was low, and I would write things like, I believe in grace. I believe in God's provision. All capital letters. I believe in God's protection, and so on. Over this last year, I was able to buy a car, and I recently got hired in an amazing job. I had even wrote a specific salary I believed God would provide, and the new job was paying me $10,000 more a year than I was even believing him for, which is far more than I've ever made in my life. I also graduated from Emily's Place program at the transitional home, and I'm looking for my own place to live. I have turned my health around, and I lost 40 pounds this year. I'm getting to sing in the choir, and most of all, that hopeless, graceless, faithless me has dissolved. It's so mind-blowing to look back at the note card I wrote on and read it and realize that God provided everything on that note card. I have been immensely blessed by the messages at ELC. The energy, the passion, and the environment has really helped me to stand and soar when I had been so defeated and hopeless. I am looking forward to the blessings that are coming for my son and I. I'm so thankful for the leadership at Elevate Life. I really, truly, fully believe that this year is going to be amazing. As God continues to open up my mind and my heart to what he has in our future, I imagine how great December 2015 was, and I cannot wait for all of the great things that are going to happen in 2016. Thank you to all the staff, the servant leaders, and pastors Keith and Sheila. Elevate Life Church has embraced me, they have loved me, and they have changed my life, and I am so ready to excel in 2016.